I'd like to call this.
Yes, we're recording.
I'd like to call this meeting to order at 6:56. Do I? I don't have the roll call thing again. Sorry, I haven't memorized everything.
Yeah, you can just call out everyone's name.
Yeah. Josh.
I'm here.
Emily. Here. Gavin.
Here.
Donovan.
Here.
Emma. Here. Sophia. Here. Anthony.
Here.
My mind just blanked. I'm so sorry. So, 8 people with. I know we're not going to have Charlotte, Mirabella, and Alexia. And Jackson. They all have other things to attend to. Then I'm not sure about Gabriel.
Okay, 8's a quorum, so you're good to go.
Okay. I would like to make a motion to approve last meeting's minutes.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 8-0. The Kyle Area Youth Advisory Council welcomes comments from citizens early in the agenda of regular meetings. Those wishing to speak must sign in before the meeting begins. Speakers may be provided with an opportunity to speak during this time period. They must observe the 3-minute time limit. I don't see anybody, so we're gonna go ahead and wait. Do I have to make a motion to close that or no? We're just close.
No, you're good.
Okay.
There's no
We're gonna
speakers
close
tonight.
Citizen comment period. We're going to be moving on to reports and presentations. We're going to be given a report about options for kayak fundraising or charitable efforts.
That's me. I wasn't ready. No. Let me click on the presentation here. Let's see if it pulls up. All right. So thank you to Amy, our Assistant Director of Parks and Recreation, for putting this presentation together. The reason that we are discussing this was because last meeting we talked about bringing something back that was related to the kayak doing it, either a fundraiser or some sort of charitable event. While you guys can decide to do anything that you want, my recommendation for the kayak board would be that if you don't need funds, if the board itself doesn't need funds, then doing something for a community event or a charitable organization or fundraising, if you want to do a fundraising for some sort of cause would probably be a better use of the kayak's time and efforts. Because if you're just fundraising for the kayak board, you guys have a budget. And I was also going to, this is part of this item, so I'm not getting off. I kind of am. I was going to suggest that on the next agenda, we start having just an update on y'all's budget. So like if the board has a $10,000 budget, how much you have, how much you've spent. If there's an item on tonight's agenda about whether we want to buy food or not. So like if we start buying food, how much of food's coming out, how much the t-shirts cost, so that you guys can see what your budget is and how much you're spending. I think that would be really helpful each meeting so you guys know how much money you have. That being said, I think you have plenty, and so my recommendation to you guys would be to do some sort of charitable act or a program that benefits the community. I think that would be great. So this, one of the things you guys brought up last time was the Adopt a Park program, and Amy was telling us that you, I don't know if you guys can see this. So, Amy was telling us that you can adopt a park and you have it in kind of in your group's name and you clean it. I think it was 3 months. Mm-hmm. You clean it and do certain guidelines for 3 months, and then you get a little placard out there, and it's like adopt a park, kind of like you would adopt a roadway. You guys talked about adopting a roadway. I was a little concerned that we would have the kayak members walking up and down a highway, which I think it's great to adopt a roadway, but God forbid anything would happen to y'all. I think it would probably be better if it was like in a park and you guys could get together and stuff like that. So I think the Adopt a Park program would be a great one. Again, it's totally up to you guys. And don't let me tell you what to do. You guys do something that you guys want to do. But I have some options at the end for other activities if you guys want to talk about them. But Amy, do you want to talk a little bit about the Adopt a Park program?
Overall, it's kind of just you guys choose the day. It's a structure for y'all. It doesn't have to go anything off what the city is. You choose the day. If a Tuesday works for you guys after school, then that's what works for y'all. We would supply you with, the basic materials like first aid, the bags and things like that. And then you just send in a report after you're done saying how many bags of trash you picked up. And if it was just one or half a bag, that's all you put on there. It's a minimal like enrollment type of thing. You just kind of sign the minor waiver, and then you'll have to have adults out there with you guys. And then they sign the waivers, and pretty much it. And then you guys, again, it's only three months, so you guys have the rest of this school year. So
Is there a routine of like you do it every week or you do it
once a month?
Oh, you go out once a month. Okay, all right.
Yeah, they're choosing.
And is it purely trash or is it like scrubbing off graffiti or
That can be part of it too.
cleaning the bathroom?
Lake Highland's coming
No,
back.
I'm curious. Like how? Can't believe- I'm curious how much it's just anything that helps beautify the park.
Right, yeah, and Lake Highland's coming back, so that's one of the most used parks out there, and with the water level coming back, a lot of the trash came up with it. And then as rain comes through, the water level comes up, brings up the trash, and so it's just in the grass at that point.
Have you guys all been out to Lake Powell? Beautiful out there. It's a really nice open area.
And then we have the new splash pads coming out, so we're getting a lot of use out of our park. So it's an opportunity for you guys, but you choose the park. You put in your recommendations for which parks you would like to go to, and say you're like, well, we want to split it between the east and the west side. That's the opportunity too. You don't have to just stay on the side.
Are any of the parks already taken, or can you have multiple people? in?
The only group that I can recall was the Boy Scout group that had one of the parks, but I don't know how consistent they are with.
Can multiple groups do the same park? Oh, okay, all right. So the next steps, if you wanted to do a dog park, yes, sir.
Actually, in my school, on the National Honor Society, we are also gonna do the same thing, and so I think it would be a great idea if we could join forces together.
At the same park.
Or
Well, that might be better if they do separate ones, right? Like take care of more parks. I don't know. It's up to you guys.
they also told me I have to say this, so
Oh,
for me, I also think it's a great idea if we have more parks to do, because that means less parks to clean and better for us.
also, you have to let us know when you're being told to tell us things from other organizations. I'm just playing, Tony. Okay, if you guys wanted to do adopt a park, the next steps would be to fill out an application. Like Amy said, you need a waiver. Do their parents have to be with them while they're cleaning it, or just
have at least one.
at least
adult.
one adult there? Okay. And then after 3 months, you get this after 3 months or at the very beginning?
After you committed.
Okay. And how long does it stay up there? Forever?
Those have been.
Forever?
I've been here, so
I
at
mean,
least
that's
5
pretty
years. So that one's been on there for at least 5 years.
I might just adopt a park
Yeah.
to get a placard up there. I'm kidding. All right, so that is Adopt a Park. That's the Adopt a Park program. And then I threw up some other community projects if you guys were thinking about other things. This was stuff I heard you guys talking about at the last meeting. Volunteering in a food bank would be a good volunteer opportunity. I know the Hays County Food Bank is something that our council member Robert Rizzo is a part of, and the city partners with them. Volunteering in an animal shelter. I know our council member Zuniga is really big on the animal shelter and taking care of strays and everything that goes on at the shelter. Raising awareness for pet adoption. Yes, ma'am.
About it real quick. I have not necessarily an idea, but Struck, my dance team, did it last year, and Girl Scouts does it a lot. I can't remember the name of the organization for the life of me, but it's an organization that puts together it's not the food bank, but they put together different things. Like they'll have a gift drive, they'll have a back to school drive, and I know that they're planning to have a really big one for summer, because unfortunately a lot of kids, especially on the east side, do get majority of their food from the school. So that would be a really big thing, because it's normally an all day thing, but it would be really, really good to kind of get out there.
So the kayak would raise what?
We would
get,
be the
like a
ones
food
putting
drive.
it together and then directing.
Oh, okay.
Volunteering.
Yeah, it's volunteering, but it did get us at least for Girl Scouts.
And then all the proceeds or whatever it is, you donate somewhere, give it somewhere, give it to an organization. Yeah, for sure. You could do something like that for the food bank. I think the animal shelter and pet adoption awareness are more, for just the awareness of it. And then I think the animal shelter has like volunteer opportunities. The library has a lot of volunteer opportunities too for some of their events and stuff like that. If that's something you guys might want to do. I know Council Member Laura Lee Harris, she's a master naturalist, and so she's very much into our parks and community gardens and stuff like that. So if you guys wanted to, Adopt a Park would definitely be part of that, but if you wanted to do something else related to that, and then any kind of community health or wellness campaign or environmental project. So anyway, that you guys don't necessarily have to decide. This was just a presentation to talk about what Adopt a Park is and any other opportunities. So keep it in the back of your head. And I think one of our action items is to talk about opportunities and events. So if y'all wanted to decide tonight on what you want to do, you could. But that's the end of my presentation. Thank you. KAYAC.
Is there anybody who'd like to just touch on that a little bit? Add anything else? Personally, I think Adopt a Park would be really cool because, yet again, that sign's been there forever. And it would be really cool to be like, oh yeah, we own this park. It would be pretty cool, especially to like get our name out. Anybody else have anything else to add?
If we were to rent a park, we may also we could also do something where we hold little like activities for children, like maybe kayak field day, and there could be all sorts of fun activities like what is it, the three-legged race, like potato sack races, and kind of like a kid Olympics.
On the day that you're cleaning the park.
It could be we
Yeah.
clean it and then have it
Yeah.
after it's looking nice. And if we have our sign on the park, oh snap, it's like kayak owns this park.
Yeah. You could have the day that you're cleaning, you could also do a promotional that day to like, while we're cleaning the park, bring food up to the park. Like one of those, like partner with, you wanted to have something that you partnered with the organization on the day you're all cleaning the park, you could have citizens come and bring stuff so that anything they bring could be donated. I think having some sort of event there would be really fun too. Those are great ideas.
Just throwing this out there, our capstone project idea was like very, very similar, and I'd probably tie that into the capstone, which we can talk about later when we get to that item. But then I think that'd be really cool to have it like every 3 or so months, just get involved with the community, get out there. Pretty fun.
I like the idea of coupling it up. You guys are there cleaning the park, but something else is happening too. Like people are bringing food for a food drive, or you guys have people showing up because you're going to have fun events there or something like that. I feel like that would make it more than just you're showing up and cleaning the park.
I know a bunch of local vendors in both the Kyle and San Marcos area that could possibly come together and start a Kyle food farmers market.
Wow.
Oh, kind of like Buda does. That'd be
Yeah,
really cool.
Buda, San Marcos.
There's a little I don't know how to explain it. There's a little farmers market shop, I guess, on the very edge of Kyle. And I know that they're constantly looking for places to sell. So I think a farmers market would be really, really beneficial to get a bunch of Kyle area businesses out there. And also tie in with what Donovan was saying about getting field days out there, just stuff to get our name out into the community.
Yeah, I think we'd have to look at kind of permitting and how that would work as far as people coming and setting up selling at the park. I don't know. We might be getting into some more complicated territory at that point rather than people just donating, but we could look into it. All right.
Discussion before we move on. Okay, we will be now moving on to receive a report and hold discussion regarding KAYAC members' recent trip to the KAYAC summit.
Just real quick, I put this on there just in case Tony went to the Yak Summit. I didn't know if he was going to or not. Sounds like he did. So Tony, no pressure. But if you would like, if you give us just a recap of what they talked about, what it was like, I would really like next year, if the kayak wants to, to get like a bus and chaperones and like go to the Yak Summit. I've been before. It's really fun. You learn a lot. There's a lot of other youth councils there that you play games and do all kinds of stuff with them. It's a blast. But Tony, do you want to give us a recap?
Sure. So the first thing was getting on there on time because it was difficult. It was around 4 hours, and so the first thing we did is we got there on the morning, just breakfast. It was on them, and we started with a presentation about how connections or links to people are a good thing and how they could change our future by a lot by knowing each other and sharing our our ideas and everything just makes things easier. Like you can maybe I want to apply for a program and you know the person who's in charge of the program. Maybe you could tell me about him or maybe you could talk to him about me. And so it's like a share to share and it's just very important to me and always also be nice to people. And no matter where you are, you always gotta be at your best. And also, our next activity we did, we basically from all the kayaks we switch, we mix up together, and so we were with different kayaks, one from each table had one kayak member. And so we did activities like building a bridge, a tower, and we were sharing out ideas. And then after that, we had a blackout, a power shortage, and so it was kind of scary because there were some loud noises happening behind the building, the hotel, and people were stuck in the elevator too. And
Doesn't always happen at the Yak Summit.
and that's where actually what I think it was they probably did on purpose because that way we connected and we were talking to each other and we were at different places upstairs, downstairs, and the stairs, and people were just freaking out. And for me, it was a fun experience. I got to meet people and talk to them, and while like checking ourselves, like, hey, are you good or everything, and I still keep in contact with them, and it was just a great experience. And that's all.
Anthony, thank you for that. No pressure whatsoever. You don't have to. But if you learned a few like good nuggets and you wanted to come to the next city council meeting and during citizen appearances go up and just say, I'm Anthony, I'm on the kayak board, I went to this Yak Summit and I learned this and that, or this was great. That'd be awesome. But you don't have to. It's totally up to you. But I just want you all to know that the city council loves the kayak board and they always love hearing from you guys. If you have something to go up in the council and give them a recap of something, what y'all I'd love when we start doing the adopt whatever we end up doing. That's definitely something that they'll want to know you guys are doing and support you guys. So anyway, just think about it. Just think about it.
Also, I did want to say this. They didn't know what was Kyle or kayak, and so I went to the board and I spoke to all of them, and I just gave them a brief explanation on who we are. The capital pie, got the best pies with the one pie store too, and also I got to talk to some markets too. The kayak, the youth advisory council of San Marcos, and we also got invited to a conference meeting, which is January 7th, 8 a.m. And so,
In San Marcos?
no, wait, it was June. My bad.
Oh,
June 7th.
In San Marcos?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
And so I'll share y'all the details
Sure.
later on.
That'd be great. All right. Thank you, Andrew.
We're going to receive another report regarding marking plans and updates on social media pages. But our
Are they not here?
No, I'm right.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so, okay, so I wasn't here at the last meeting, and I felt really behind on everything. Because I was like sick for like 2 or almost 3 weeks. So, I pretty much, well, I made it's like an email for, like to use for different accounts for this organization. And so, but that's about as far as I've gotten, because, yeah, I wanted to wait until the meeting to discuss that more with y'all.
real quick, I just want to make sure we're all like on the same page about like what social medias we want to do. So like for sure an Instagram page. Or any other, I know there are some ideas of like a TikTok floating around. What do we think? It's like, oh.
Don't keep going. I'll be right back.
When it comes to outreach, especially with other organizations, Facebook has been a very useful resource, especially like the older demographic.
Yes, my mother will be on top of that. She's like, yes, my baby goes. Yes.
Definitely Facebook and Instagram for sure. Those two are the most like valuable. It's gonna reach the most people.
Twitter used to be a big one.
Kind of Jesse hit on it because I think he was going to talk to communications, but I believe communications would set it up. So it can be, because what's going to happen if you set it up under your emails, whenever you guys kind of age out of the program, we're going to have to still contact you if like the password needs to change or something.
Yeah.
But I'll confirm with Mr. Jesse how he wants to proceed. But I think he'd be more than happy to allow you guys to manage it and give the information out. But double check. Social media.
I forgot I was taking minutes, so I'm gonna need a recap of what y'all decided. Sorry, go ahead. What were you
For
saying?
the communications.
I did not.
Okay.
I was sick for the last. I'm joking. No, I haven't been able to talk to her. But I think,
I just-
I'm just joking with you guys.
No, it's okay. I like that. I like that.
You were thinking that maybe it'd be better if Rachel set it up and it was.
Yeah, because if it's all in there, his email after he ages out.
That's a good point.
So-
Yeah, that's a good point.
What he said is that he created an email that the organization
That
would
we
use.
could use.
Yeah, that I can
So-
share with future.
Kayak owns the email and the password.
Yeah, I just don't know if it needs to be a part of their.
Oh, like their
The
what is it like?
communications,
Instead of
like-
Gmail, like City of Pilot.
Right.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Mhm.
Let me, I'll talk to her. I'll get back to you guys, but if you guys want to decide tonight on, is this an action item? No, well, y'all can just give direction. Y'all can just give direction on like which ones you guys want to use. So I heard Instagram for sure. I think
Instagram.
Instagram and Facebook.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. I think probably limiting it is probably better so that you guys don't have to manage a whole bunch of pages and stuff. Yeah, exactly. So I'll take that to our communications department and I'll come back with an update.
Just I don't know if this would fit into the other items. I was thinking about this like last night. We don't have any like I don't think existing photos of everybody. So I was wondering if that was like something that we needed to get done sooner rather than later, taking like meeting on like a random Saturday and just be like, okay, we're gonna take a big picture. Okay, bye.
Yeah, we only have the one whenever we log in.
Yeah,
I
the
think
city
it'd be
council.
great because you guys have your shirts now. So
So that
Okay.
also, sorry, that could be connected to our next item on the agenda, which is the social event. Because we can also go over there and take a picture of us. And so-
We can discuss it more in depth when we get to that the item that Anthony was talking about. But just something to like get our minds thinking about is taking the big group photo because I know my mom's like, why don't I ever see photos of y'all? I'm like, we just never take them. So
Yeah, I think anytime you guys are doing something and then maybe once at every meeting, we take a photo and maybe the communications person could, I'm not I don't use social media. I should not be guiding anyone on any social media. But maybe we could like link, if we have like a picture of every meeting, we could link the agenda from that meeting to that picture and say, you know, the kayak met and talked about these different things. And then anytime you guys do anything out in the community, like Amy was saying, you have your branded shirts and everything that you guys created. You can take pictures of it. And so there's just like kind of a consistent, at least monthly, because you'd be meeting, right? Of just like what the kayak's doing. You guys ever go say report to, at city council, take a picture? I sit right there, so I'll take a picture of you guys up at the podium talking to council, and we can put that on there. Just something that just shows you guys are being active like regularly. I think that'd be great. And it would be simple. That way you guys, I know you'll have a lot going on with school and athletics and music and everything. So like it'd be easier just to maybe have it more consistent with like what y'all are doing. I think it'd be awesome. All right, good. So I'll bring back a report on all that at the next meeting.
You can make sure you add it.
Yes, I will.
Any other discussion about our social media pages before we move on? We are also going to receive another report and hold discussions regarding giveaways from kayak to some of the HCSC schools. Anthony.
Oh, so yes. So I thought of maybe putting our logo on items or like sports materials like soccer ball or anything. Just giving it to schools, making them know that there is a youth advisory council of Kyle, and also letting them know that they can reach to us. Sorry, and we could help them, give them advice, or even just be a bridge between kayaks council members to the school, just making like a connection. And so I thought it would be a great idea to use our budget to give out to the youth of Kyle.
This is just an idea I had while you were saying that, but using possible funding or some sort of fundraiser in which we would add on to the currently existing elementary and middle school playground infrastructure. It could be a gaga ball pit, you know. I know that some schools have held on to them in the past. Not sure if they're still there, but you know, building onto that, we can create a true gaga ball cluster, a powerhouse. And then once everybody gets really good, we can start hosting.
That would be so fun. Hey, we're about to talk about social events. That might be a good one to consider.
Us being referees.
No,
Like, nope, you.
no, I was talking about all of us playing gaga ball.
Never heard it.
Oh my gosh.
Are you Googling
Well,
it?
yet again, we can discuss this when we get to social events,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
but this is like, throwing that out there. That might be something pretty fun to do, especially since evidently you've never done it, so we could teach you something.
Get him in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
We could have like a little
Okay, so
demonstration.
y'all want to, you can move on and you can come back to that as related to this, because it would be connected with give something to give to the schools and stuff, so.
I definitely like the idea of doing like a gaga ball pit because it's not as expensive as some of the other stuff, but it is a bigger piece of equipment.
What is it similar to? What is the game like similar to?
Dodgeball.
It's like dodgeball,
Yeah.
but like you're on the ground and you can't get
So
hit.
there's like an octagon.
I saw it. I saw the little.
It's like a pit, but you try to get like you try not to get hit by the ball because you're throwing the ball. You also can't throw it. You can only hit it.
You can like bounce it.
Thrower have to fall in the.
Well, you can't
well,
throw it. You have to
You
hit
can
it.
like bounce it.
Yeah.
Before it hits another person.
Yeah. Also, well, if it hits the wall and it hits somebody else, it doesn't count.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I bet it's hard for like.
We're about to turn ACISD into the
Donating.
district.
Yeah,
It's
they're
the gaga ball district. It's the international.
Instead of the pie city, it's the gaga ball city.
great.
Gaga ball into
I'll
a
watch it.
nationally recognized.
Smart. Idea of gaga ball. We could definitely. It's a big
We
piece of
could
wood,
get
so
kids.
we can get number one. I know when I was little, I would go feral for gaga ball. So we could definitely like it would be something fun to give them.
Donate to a school and have it be from kayak.
Yeah.
Also, it's a big piece of wood, so we can literally paint kayak
Right, like a-
on it.
We did the logo.
Yeah.
Gaga Ball sponsored by Kayak.
Our logo.
We
on
could
the-
have like a logo on it.
Like all of our names.
Our faces.
All right, so do you want to move on and talk about that at social events? Okay.
Do we want to go by items? Because it's not until like the
Yeah,
third.
you can come back to it. You can go by item.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
next we'll be considering possible action with these following items. We're going to receive another report about possible action of changing bylaw amendment.
I forgot this is me again. Oh, I have it right here. Sorry.
The bylaw.
Not ready.
Oh, the Jackson Jewel.
Oh.
Okay, so I looked over y'all's bylaws. I studied them. I know them by heart now. I didn't have a lot of like recommended changes. And again, these are your bylaws. You vote on them. You vote to change them. So if you guys don't like these changes or want to make different changes, it's totally up to you. But the bylaws are great. I didn't know if you guys wanted to put in the bylaws that you guys get a regular update on your budget each meeting. I think that would be probably good because for future kayaks, I think they need to know their budget to see it. And it's just good to keep track of it. Plus whoever's liaison for the kayak, I hope to be liaison for kayak for a while, but if it does change, you would also want them to continue to show you guys the budget. So that was one thought I had. And then when I read it, and then the liaison specifically says the City of Kyle Parks and Rec Department will assign a liaison. And I just thought right there. I just thought that we would probably just change that to the city manager will assign a liaison. So that way the city manager can assign anyone he wants to be the liaison. That makes it not so like specific. And then I wanted to ask you guys, and I'm just curious, when you guys do the application process and do panels, interviews, how do y'all like that? How do y'all feel that goes? I mean, is it
Are we talking about
For the-
is it the
for like
video
new
interviews
for
beforehand?
incoming kayak members?
I feel like there were a lot of interviews in the interview process. Given that there aren't that many people in the application pool, why don't we just bring them in person, make it real official?
Do y'all? do you guys y'all just look at the applications as a group?
Well,
No.
we're all brand new. Like this is our first year.
It's mainly city officials that would bring the kayak members into the.
Yeah, so it says they're interviewed by panel. I assumed y'all were the panel, but no, it's a separate panel.
Yeah, and then they.
Okay, well, maybe internally we can look at that. I think that in my experience working with youth committees, objectivity is really the best way to bring people on. There's 14 members, so there's a lot of members of this board. But when kayaks start to be very active and do really cool things, you have a lot of people applying. You can have 30, 40, 50 applicants, and you only have 4 or 5 spots. And so who gets on and how they get picked can become. I've seen it become a very complicated or sometimes biased process. So I think the more just objectivity you have of like, y'all aren't specifically picking the people that are coming in. So I just think maybe we could look at that process. I thought you guys were the panel. I'll have to find out who actually is the panel who's choosing those. So we'll skip that part for now. So right now, my only recommendation for the bylaws is to change it to the city manager as assigning the staff liaison And then that putting something in there that says that y'all get a regular update on your budget every month, which I think would be great. And then the last thing was, you guys have a position and description of duties here. I guess I don't have it on here, but it looks like this, and it has your chair, your vice chair, your secretary, and we're talking about a health liaison, and I was just wondering if y'all wanted to add that as one of these, because you have a marketing chair, social chair, a committee liaison. I didn't know if y'all wanted to add the health liaison onto this list. Is that something y'all want
Yes.
to continue to?
Yes. Our next item is appointing somebody to that.
Okay, great. So, you guys can, if y'all want, and I don't know, you can have discussion, and if you want to add or change anything, you can. But if you want, you could just motion for the recommended changes, and then I'll change it.
So does anybody have any other discussion before we make it official? I would like to make the motion to update our bylaws as previously said.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 8-0. I was like, oh. So with that creates a little bridge for us. We are going to be hosting an election now, I guess, as my teacher likes to say it, Judgment Day, where we are going to be electing and appointing our new KAYAC health liaison position. If anybody here was interested, I know we do have a lot of people out today.
I will begin. Hello, everybody.
Oh.
I think I bring a lot to the table,
Oh.
and I've got to know you guys very well the past few months, so I'd like to just throw myself out there. I think holding this position, I could bring a lot of support to the organization when it comes to healthcare stuff. I am the president of HOSA at my school, so I have connections to healthcare related like things and like all the little intertwining things to like the seat next door. And I want to join the healthcare field after high school. Like in a month when I turn 18, I'm going to start volunteering at the hospital. And my major is leading into medical school. So, it just all makes sense. Like I'm the healthcare guy, right? So anyways, yeah, I hope you guys vote.
So I know we already discussed this. Oh yes. Yes. I know we already discussed this last meeting, but we're gonna have everybody who's interested kind of give a spiel of why they think that they're good for this position, and then we didn't clarify how we want to go about voting.
Well, it says in the bylaws that we can select.
I know, but like, do we want to do like a blind vote, or do we want to be like, if you
Just motion.
Yeah.
For a vote and then the
You
motion.
guys
Yeah.
just want, to write your votes down, and then I'll take them and tell you who won?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
That
creates
works.
more suspense. I love it. Is there anybody else who would like to?
You already have like a thing, you can't do it, right?
If no one else is going out for it, then I don't need to get, I don't need to get paper.
Like last call, does anybody want to run? No. Already have positions. So I think I really wonder who won.
Real.
It's a really hard decision, guys. I don't know who votes. Guys, who do you think we should appoint? I know. I think I'm gonna go with Donovan. What do y'all think? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to make a motion to appoint Donovan as our new health liaison.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Oh.
Motion carries 8-0. And moving on to our next agenda item, we'll be discussing a possible team building or social event for KAYAC, not for the community, for KAYAC. Anthony brought up a really good point that a lot of the kayaks, like no, not the yaks, a lot of the yaks in this area know each other very well, and we haven't really gotten the opportunity to necessarily bond all together. So I think doing something outside of this meeting would be very beneficial. Like we were joking around earlier, like on a social would be pretty fun. Okay, so
I have a list of ideas on what we could do for our field trip. So if we want to do something in the Kyle area, I have the Uncharted Adventures in Kyle. It just opened. Um, it's somewhere. It's somewhere in Kyle, but obviously like I haven't like fully gotten like all the money situation out because I just have the ideas here, but I have the Uncharted Adventures. They have splatter paint for $30 a room. The Rage Room for 39, Escape Room for $37 per person. And Escape Room would be really cool because it's like a really team bonding thing. And then obviously the good old Evo. We have bowling for $30 an hour, shoes for $4.50, but they don't really take the shoes. And then pizza and arcade if we decide to go that route. And then I also have picnics, which we can do at our local like parks. We can get food, games, and we can even play Gaga Ball like we were saying earlier. That would be really cool. And then if we were thinking of doing something in Austin, I have Game On ATX, which is a team building program. It's $30 a person. For Friday, it has like $38.45. Midweek is $34.95, and Monday and Tuesday is $30. And Game On is basically like, you know how they have like the game shows where you like press the buttons and then it, like you have to guess and you're all on separate teams. Like what's Family Feud? They have like different categories like that, and it's really cool. If I could find her, let me see. Let me see if I can find their website. It's Game On ATX, and they do like different.
I can look it up. Here,
Yeah, that's awesome.
What was it called?
Game On ATX. And it's a team building
For a price, is that what we're looking for? Or what?
for no, it's just like to show them what it is.
Okay.
And then there's also Uncharted Adventures, and I think everybody here knows Evo.
Well, they're
Also adding to that, the thing is that when I was at the Jack Smith and the power outage, I to the people I had a group with, I met them, I talked with them, I socialized, and I pretty much know them more than y'all. And so I'm just saying this in a way, so I thought it would be a great idea of having a social and so yeah, I didn't mean to say it that way. I'm just saying that I I thought it would be a great idea to meet somewhere, and so I asked Sophie if she could come up with some ideas, and it's just I wish I knew y'all more.
Sophie, that was a great list. You did a great job. What do y'all think?
As we're doing.
Oh.
It doesn't have to be like anything expensive. I like the idea of like meeting at a picnic and we all like bring our own food and just like talk for a little bit, and then doing something that's like more like hands-on like that. I really like. Oh, what?
Nothing. My bad. Keep talking.
I really like that Game On idea. Seems really really cool, and I know a lot of us are probably very competitive, so it would get us a lot more comfortable with each other.
Or make us angry.
Sophia, did you have the price for Game On?
Yes, I do. It's no, not 37, $30 per person. On Friday it is $38.45. On midweek is $34.95. Monday and Tuesday it is $30. And if you look it up, it's really cool. They do like Wheel of Fortune but it is in Austin. And if we are looking for something more in the Kyle area, because we are KAYAC, I have Uncharted Adventures. I really like the escape room idea because it's like team building. And of course there's Evo, which is just Evo.
Is there an escape room in Cal?
Yeah, there is. It's in Uncharted Adventures. It literally just opened. Yeah. But they also do splatter paint, rage room, and they do like there's a lot of different sort of things that they do, but those are the three that I thought would most fit for the
I'm
team
going
building.
to pull y'all's budget for next time and look at it. I think you probably have. Y'all haven't been buying food or anything, so I think you'll have plenty more. But any of those are probably going to be around $500, $600 for the whole group. I think that's probably fine. I don't think that that's like going to make y'all run out of money or anything like that. So I think you guys could just discuss which ones y'all want to focus on, and then we can look at it. The kayak fund, a budget would pay for it. You guys would have to pay for it. So
Ooh. I think we should all go to it, to every single one.
Yes.
I really like the idea of an escape room.
Yes.
we can't run out of money. That's why we look at the budget every time.
Well, we don't see the money that's leaving. I really like the idea, like Emily said, I really, really like the idea of an escape room so that we're kind of like, not forced, that's not a good word, but we're all like put together and like, okay, we have to do this. So
So is there a maximum number of participants in the escape room?
I think so. I think it's 16 max.
Wow,
Oh, that's
that's large. Like we're all like on top of each other.
Y'all could, if it was, you could split. If it was like 8 and 8, you could like split for 2 and go at the same time.
Mm.
I really like that. But yet again, I want to do more than one just because, like, especially for right now, we're all kind of heading into like if you're involved in like anything extracurricular, tryouts are coming up for everybody. It's the most stressful part of the year is coming up. So it'd be nice to get us something to look forward to. And I don't know. I personally like the idea of doing an escape room first. That way we focus more on the team building. And then maybe like after like before or after our last meeting, we have like a picnic at the park. That way we can like have we always have like joke award ceremonies for a lot of like our extracurriculars. We can do like a joke award ceremony at like this picnic. Like one like a big class party except not a class. Just something to be like, yeah, we did it.
We could all bring like a food of something. Have you seen those like TikToks where they're like the charcuterie board, but like it's like bring a different board thing, but like just like simple, you know, like one simple thing.
Luck.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That.
Something silly and fun to do very end because I think we only have like 2 seniors, right? It's Donovan. Who's the other
Oh, what was that?
seniors? I think
Mason.
oh, Donovan and Mason. Those are only 2 seniors, I believe.
Yeah. So
So one final like fun
Hurrah.
goodbye.
Goodbye.
So it's not like okay, I'm gonna finish the meeting.
You guys have this as an action item, so if you want, y'all could decide, but if y'all could also say, we'd like to look at these 3, and then next meeting we could bring with the actual cost of it, and next meeting you would have your budget too, so you could see how much money you had. So maybe if you narrowed it down to like 2 or 3, then we can actually bring the cost for next time. And also you have to remember, if you pick a day to do something, not everyone's always going to be able to show up on that day. So it could be all 14, but it may be, 7 or 8. So just the cost probably won't be the full group because, people are just going to have conflicts. But you guys want to discuss and narrow it down to 2 or 3?
So I know that like majority of us, I know that me and Anthony have like verbalized what we want to do. So just very like, which ones do y'all want to do the most? That way we can yet again narrow it down.
I think the escape room would be
Escape-
most
escape room.
beneficial.
So,
So definitely escape room. Do we want to give like 2 more options? That way we can discuss it again.
The
next time?
game one, what's the game one again?
Game
Game
on.
on. Game on.
That one's really cool.
and picnic.
Escape room, game on, and a potluck picnic.
Yes.
All right. So next time we'll have the budget and we'll have generally what those cost, and then the guys can like vote on which one you want to do, or if you want to do multiple or whatever. But at least you'll have like the information in front of you. Sound good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to revisit our capstone project. Consider possible action to finalize our capstone project. I know we haven't touched on it in about
Couple months.
like 2 months. So I know last time we were talking about it, we were talking about hosting something at Lake Kyle that is painting rocks to create a pathway, and then we are also discussing like a clothing drive to go alongside it. So does anybody discuss a little bit about that? Yet again, it's been a really, really
Oh, no. Say it. Well, I was gonna say, like, if we end up adopting a park, which I think we're gonna get there at some point. We should probably do something there, like what Mr. Jesse was saying earlier, and then we can have some sort of event, like either like whether it's like a clothes drive or food drive situation, so we can kind of couple something.
I agree. So in the future, one of my friends' father is the person who started the San Marcos Farmers Market. So if we wanted to take notes on how we could do that, if that's what we wanted to do, they could possibly come down here, do the citizen comments, kind of tell us what
I think one problem with the farmers market is we have to get like permits and stuff. And
But also, we already kind of have like a market, we kind of have like a
Yeah.
market days already going on. So I feel like the permits wouldn't necessarily be as much of an issue because we're already dealing with it. It would just be a little bit more on their plate to, manage all those permits, especially with a lot of like small businesses, like food and what, that's sometimes very confusing.
And where do they have it? Oh, okay, right downtown. Yeah. It is a farm market, like people selling stuff.
But there's not a lot of farmer items.
Or just
that they
things,
sell.
like-
Yeah,
like- Things they make and stuff like that. Yeah.
you don't have to.
I personally like the idea of like, well, we had that Kyle, what was it called?
fair.
The Kyle Fair, yes.
Wow.
That was really fun. I really liked the fact that they had like a bunch of activities going on while they had like a separate market. So if we wanted to do something like that to go alongside our episode.
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay, y'all's ideas are great. I will say that. I like everything that you guys are saying. So our jobs, like, so my department, that's all of our jobs, and it takes us all day. Like we're on that 8 hours a day, sometimes 10, sometimes 12. A Kyle Fair type event takes over 8 months of planning. And it's a lot of moving parts, or someone that has to stay on the vendors, or someone has to stay on the security aspect of it. I guess what
Something that large. It also costs about $500,000.
Yes. Yeah.
But I will say, one, Donovan, I thought even just having someone come and present to KAYAC on just how to do a farmer's market or how they do it in San Marcos, and maybe comparing it to how we do it, that would be a really cool presentation, like to come and present to KAYAC. So if they would like to do that, we'll put them on the agenda. That'd be really cool. And then as far as the capstone, I'm brand new, so what is generally the idea behind the capstone?
The capstone's like a bit, I guess you could explain it as like a big passion project. I know the biggest one that we had was our parts, making them inclusive.
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, the kayak group was a real push, like the push in the right direction. They started the playground idea. So they did the back end work of that information. Kind of now we have the.
I thought Josh's idea was great in that if you're adopting a park and putting a lot of work into it, if you could couple that somehow, maybe that's not like the full capstone project, but if you could couple doing that with something else, I'm not sure what it would be, but that feels like it would be kind of a capstone project. Like you adopt a park, you have your name out there on the park, and you're also, I don't know, raising awareness for something or getting, charitable stuff for something. That starts to feel like what would probably be like a big capstone project. It's something that you could go, to council and tell them that that's what you're doing and that's what you're working on. And you could take pictures every time y'all are, working on it or building it and have it on social media and stuff. Like, I feel that would probably be, if you guys are, again, very busy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you split yourself into too many different directions, it's gonna be really hard to get any of them like fully completed, especially since you guys meet 9 times, like 9 or 10 times. Like you don't have a ton of time. So, but if you focus it all into kind of one area or 1 or 2 areas, you could probably get a lot done. Plus the team building and the, any events that y'all want to do and stuff like that. Like, I feel like if you start to do too much, then you may not ever get any of it done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I know we had like yet again, bring it up, we had like a general idea. Do we want to combine that with our adopt a park? Because I know we originally had planned on asking to use Lake Kyle to paint rocks to create that pathway, but it's very like community involved, and to also like have a clothing drive where we either charge $5 for like, to paint a rock or like an item of clothing or like a can of food or something. I feel like we can manage that because I know there's a lot of like people who need volunteer hours. So personally, I don't know if we want to go that route. If we want, because this is what we've been talking about up until now. So do we want to go and proceed with that, or do we want to restart from scratch?
So, how many people do you think we could get involved in rock?
It wouldn't be too big because we would need somebody to obviously direct people on where to go. Then somebody just like run the thing. So I feel like our full board with kayak and maybe like I know most of us have connections to like NHS and student council. So I feel like getting I don't know if I'm like overestimating, but like 20, 30 more people just to like walk around, make sure everything's fine, have people cleaning while we do it.
So for student council, I know that the 15 community project deadline is approaching. I don't know if you guys are super well versed in your student council chapters, but if so, we could most likely get everybody involved in all the schools. Like maybe like 5 to 10 people from each student council chapter is all it takes for the projects to get recognized in their chapter. And so that would be their incentive to join in with us.
I think that's a really good idea. Just get more people on board. Also, I wanted to throw out there, we wanted to go the route of, I know we were discussing what to do with the money that's paid to us to paint the rock. I know a huge thing, obviously we just added on a new health liaison, so I know that's a big problem right now. With fentanyl, the Forever 15 project would be a very good charity to give that money to because it is a very current and a very big problem, especially child. And then that doesn't mean like donating everything, but giving a big chunk of that profit to them. We could also have them out there if they wanted to.
I think those are great ideas. What's the name of that organization?
Forever 15.
I will say, you guys can do anything you want, but if it's something that's related to the city in some way, and I'm not trying to say that you should, you can do anything. But if it is somehow related to the city, like something related to parks or animal shelters, something like that, the city can 100% help with like resources and stuff like that. I mean, let's say, and then anything y'all are doing, even as you start, if we have like an item on council where you say, hey, council, kayak met, this is going to be our capstone project, I guarantee you the council will help out, help promote it, probably be a part of it in some way. You know what I mean? So you'll have what I'm trying to say is you'll have a ton of support in anything that you want to do. So I don't know. I don't want to like inject ideas because it needs to be y'all's idea, but just know that anything city related or anything that you in the community, you'll have a bunch of support because it's you guys have a lot of people behind you.
I agree with getting the city on board, just at least so that they can know what's going on. Before, I know we keep kind of getting off track with this project, so I would personally prefer to get this kind of like this idea like set down, like this is what we're gonna do. That way, because yet again, we only have what 3, maybe 4 more meetings. That way we can get 3 more. That way we can get it up and running. So do y'all agree with the idea of doing the rock painting and then either doing a canned food drive or a clothing donation drive to go alongside it and then give our monetary donations to for 15? Is that kind of the headspace we're all in? And then of course inviting the student councils down to come assist.
I like that
I
idea.
like that.
Okay.
And if we wanted to get any more like pride and patriotism for the city of Kyle, we may also be able to talk to Texas Pie Company and any large air balloon companies in the area to see if they'd want to contribute to donations. They wanted to create those giant checks, additional donations that we could then give to the owners of Forever 15.
For Forever 15, just an idea. I know it has affected, especially Lehman and Hayes, very, very hard. Would we want to invite them out there to maybe speak a little bit about their organization? That way they can get their name out there as well. We want to have like representatives out there, like they can have their own little booth and talk about it.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. One thing I want to say is maybe we should, like, because if we're doing it with the Forever 15 thing, which is really great, like the whole thing with the donating like the clothes or the food for that kind of feels like separate.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we just do like little like monetary donations, like oh, if you give like $5, you can have a rock to paint to put on the trail, and it's like a whole thing. It's cute.
I definitely think that is a good idea. Like all just go into one because it truly is the biggest problem of our time right now. So it'd be very beneficial yet again. I know they're very active in like city council. They're always coming to meetings, always trying to get them out there. They now have 2 billboards, I think.
I think they have them around.
So those like for sure what we want to do.
The kids say?
So we can tie it in with fentanyl awareness. That way, and then we kind of hit that check mark. The thoughts.
Okay.
I like that.
Do we want to kind of divide and before I make a motion? Do we want to divide and conquer about how we go about this? Because I know we were supposed to. But...
So there's like we need to get a rock guy. We need to get a table guy.
Yes.
The quarry's right there. Be like, give us some rocks.
If somebody's willing to look at the prices to
Get rocks. Okay. How do I go? Oh, and I can figure out paint, but how do I find where to buy rocks?
My mom works with a landscaping company. I'll get back to you on that.
If you talk to certain companies like for paint and stuff like that and tell them what you're doing, they might donate the materials. They might donate the rocks, or you might donate not the quarry, but like a craft store might donate rocks and stuff. Or paint, just if they know that it's for the kayak and that it's for a charitable cause. And then you can add their name onto something of like they donated for this.
I hate to bring up my drill team, but we have a lady who makes big banners because we personally have a banner for our team. So we can say like, hey, if you donate, we can put your logo on this nice banner. Oh, they so kindly donated. So rock guy, can we have somebody be a bridge between? I can talk to my student council at Lehman. I was wondering if you can talk to the one at Hayes.
I am a dash person at student council.
So for my school, I could also be the person. Even though we don't have student council, we switch it to student government.
Oh.
And so yeah, be a connection to that too.
And then I don't know if we need to go through the city for this, but stuff for like. I also have a connection with Forever 15, so I can reach out to them about that. Do we need to go to the city about like tables and like to set up and like overall permission to use that space?
You mean the park?
Yes.
No, I think you're fine.
Okay.
All right.
Also, if we're creating a trail, don't we need approval?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're creating a trail with rocks.
Yeah, we'll just have to pick a day and we'll just make sure that there's not some big event going on. But y'all should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you just give me the list, like I need 5 canopies and 8-foot tables or whatever it is.
So I just want to, this is for minutes.
Yeah.
The capstone project is to adopt a park, get rocks, paint them, and put them all in that park or along the trail.
Along the
Something
trail.
like that, along the trail. and you pay to get a rock to paint it, and then to take the funds that are from that rock painting and donate it to Forever 15.
Yeah,
Is that-
and also
all right.
reaching out to some local businesses. I like the big check idea. That was great.
Yeah, you know who I know? I know they have lots of big checks as HEB. They love to be a part of community stuff.
Any connection?
If you have any, they are really, really good community partners.
We also need somebody to talk to these. I can some of them.
Yeah.
I know the man.
Oh, okay. So who do we want to reach out to? Because I know Home Depot is also a big one, especially if we want to get like rocks.
Yeah, who do we?
I can. Yeah, they could give us rocks. They could give us a big check.
Just ask for a donation, either a big check or rocks. So those are like two very different
We
things.
could put the capstone item on the every agenda going forward. And then as you guys are talking to different community partners and like that, we can just give an update on it.
Yeah.
Keep track of it like as we go.
So if any of us know any people who run any businesses within this community, go ahead and be like, hey. I also think it's really important that at least I'm personally kind of want to do this to go to the city council and let them know what we're doing. That way they're aware of it. And that way if they want to be like, hey, I have connections to Lowe's, I'll get you in contact with them.
Our next city council meeting is March 5th.
So if anybody wants to join me,
And I will put it on as a presentation if you guys want.
yes, please.
All right. The more that are there, the better. If someone just you don't have to necessarily have like a PowerPoint. You can just say, at our last meeting, we discussed our capstone and here's what we're doing. And we just wanted to let y'all know. And if anyone wants to participate or be a part of it, contact KAYAC. They'll support you guys 100%.
So is there anything else that I forgot to kind of assign to somebody to start figuring out?
You don't really have to worry about like scheduling or anything.
If you could just give me a couple of dates, that'd be great, and then I can say, hey, I have the calendar up now, so if you guys wanna just, like, what month you're looking at, and I can say,
Can we do like
May.
May?
I think, was it the second weekend? Because I think after the third week is like when the last day of school is, so I know it's gonna be like crazy for everybody.
yeah, and May is Kyle Fair, so that's already, and so the weeks before that, the carnival already starts to get in place out there.
Mhm.
So it kind of takes away y'all's space and parking and all of this.
What about the end of April?
Yeah.
End of April. We have a tiny tot run scheduled, so it's not like Kyle, but it's gonna conflict with, it's gonna be two events going on at the same time, so you're pulling with.
Is there like a date that would be like perfect?
I mean, Sunday, the next day, the 28th is the option.
What do y'all think of a Sunday? I personally can do Sunday, but
I can do it Sunday.
We could have Amy bring days back for you guys to pick.
yes.
That's probably better. We have a lot of things from last night that we have to add to our programming, so.
So this will be part of the capstone item next time is dates, update on people we've talked to, where it's at. Like y'all can basically use that item to kind of figure out where y'all are at as far as the each time we meet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna holler up.
And to holler out your voice. All right, great. That's good. And I'll put the item on the next council meeting.
Do we need to make a motion since it's not, I know it's like not like a set thing, but do we need to make a motion?
To finalize it.
I would like to make a motion to point everybody to their individual tasks to get our capstone project up and running.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Okay. The motion carries 8-0.
Who seconded that? Sorry.
I did,
Sophia?
yes.
Okay.
This next item is me and Emily's item regarding the possible action of a custom kayak letterman patch. I know personally I'm working very hard to get my letterman, and I think that this is a very big achievement. And it's something that is very time consuming, especially with our capstone project. So I feel like being able to have something that commemorates it and be like, oh, look, I got a cool patch. Also, it doesn't have to be for letterman. We can also put it on like, letterman's not your thing. Put it on a bag somewhere.
So if we wanted like the official patch that goes with the Letterman, we'd have to contact Centex in Austin. They're the company that makes all the Letterman in classrooms too. I know at least for Hayes, do you know if it's the same or maybe a different brand?
I don't believe.
So
I
there's
don't
an
believe-
office downtown for the Lehman one. I forgot. Downtown
Yes,
Kyle.
we have a separate. But do we need to directly go through them, or can we just make patches on our own?
I think we can just make
We can do
patches.
third-party patches. This is only if we wanted to do, you know, how like the school
Yes.
extracurriculars patch matches the color.
Personally, I think we should do a third party, just plain black and white, whatever other colors we choose. I think Miss Amy brought up a good point of just doing that emblem. Just keep it nice and simple.
Then we could also, if we wanted to go a step further, some level of personalization if you held an officer position.
Mm.
Also, the year, school year, that's.
So I personally I was gonna put the gavel in my letterman because I didn't know what else. So I think the official emblem looked very good. And then if you have held an officer position, being able to customize it. I hate bringing up Girl Scouts, but I do know quite a few people who do make patches, so I can reach out and get an estimation for how much that would cost us. I looked
I'm
up,
just looking at very general, and they're not expensive.
I can probably go through the same company that I got to use the shirts, but then putting the patches on would be, I guess, the part where you're talking about the syntax.
Could there be some level of color customization to the different schools? Like Hayes
Yeah.
has like red.
I mean, we can order anything y'all want.
Because we're Hayes Hawks.
Yeah, where is hot?
We're not Lehman.
whoa, 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 whoa.
We're nice.
Because what idea?
I don't know. Just an idea. These
Slave them.
I can't remember the name. These we could do in our we can do in our school colors on the side.
And those are like.
Or like the Kyle that part can also be.
Or something. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Also, like y'all two are the design people, right? Them two?
And
Y'all are like the design people, or like who?
yeah, Gavin.
Like the people that do
No,
the design.
that's
Social
Okay,
care.
my bad.
but I don't know. I looked online and it looked like it was like less than 10 per patch. That's just from also yet again, it depends on what we want to get done. But I think that'd be something very fun to do. That way we can be like, oh look, we now have Letterman patch. So any other opinions?
I like it.
Yes.
So just to sum it up, a Letterman patch with the official emblem with school colors customization
Officer.
and officer positions. Thank you.
You said Letterman's with school colors and officer.
Officer positions. Have the logo tastic. Oh, I know.
Logo tastic, is that what your
Logo-tastic.
school says?
They say
Not a lot.
not a lot, but sometimes on the intercom they'll say have a logo tastic day. And you're like,
Say
oh,
that.
yes, we just never listen.
That's so much worse than hockey.
Yeah, we have a what's it? A great Hayes High School day.
Yeah.
Hawk, yeah.
Hockey.
That's what they
Okay,
Hawk.
love to have.
Honestly, I do love the hawk, yeah.
What the logo? No, it doesn't
Doesn't work.
We just have a mock of the school song.
Or
That's
like
it.
the- in layman's terms.
That's
If you want to take a motion on that?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to officially have a kayak custom Letterman patch with school color customization and officer position.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
All opposed? Motion carries 8-0. Okay, last item on our agenda is to discuss meeting meals. So we we're talking a little bit about it after the meeting last time. We have a lot of, and I know for some of us, we're coming freshly out of school and we're kind of hurrying here. So Jesse had more.
I've never had a meeting where we didn't feed you. I believe almost all of our other boards are fed. So I just assumed that we would feed you guys. Y'all have a budget for it. It won't take up a big chunk of your budget. This was on the city management food tonight. It wasn't out of your budget. But I would feel bad that I ran into Isabella at Chick-fil-A. She was trying to get food before the meeting. She was with her dad. I assume that was your dad.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm bringing food. So you guys wouldn't have to worry about getting food. You can come here, have food, relax, eat, have your meeting. I don't see why you wouldn't, unless you just really want to like. I don't see why you wouldn't. I don't see why you wouldn't. But unless y'all just really wanted to save the money for something else, but I know y'all had decided not to, so I just thought we would put it on as an item. Want to have food here and not have to worry about eating beforehand. The liaison would take care of it and have it here for you guys, so.
Personally, I think with my studies a lot. So sometimes I'll be sitting here, I'm like, I really want food. So I think it's a good idea because I know a lot of people are kind of racing down here to get here on time. Like this one, and sometimes that one. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other people.
I think we voted on this, on like having less than $50 on snacks.
Yeah, like,
But also,
That's on snacks. We're talking about full on.
we're talking about.
We're talking about meals.
It's different, okay. Because I was thinking of like re-amending that or like changing the price.
yeah,
Yeah, taking away the $50 and adding a full meal.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think
It's up to you guys, but I mean, I think you guys should have a meal. I mean, what time is it? It's
Okay.
8:13. If someone got here and they hadn't eaten, it'd be 8 o'clock and they wouldn't have eaten anything. I mean, they'd be crouched. Yeah, and hungry.
All right, y'all. Health liaison here. It's time to talk about nutrition. We are gonna be having these meetings, right? It's gonna be 6:30 to 8:30, probably through the majority of our dinner times. And so it's important that the meals that we are provided touch on all the major food groups. What's something that comes to mind? Something with grain, something with the protein, dairy, sometimes it's questionable, vegetable, maybe fruit. What is a food that touches on all those food groups? Sandwiches. Sandwiches touch on all
Sandwiches
those
have bread though. It does.
Great.
So I
So
can't eat that.
you don't have to eat bread, but there are sandwich places that offer salads. And that's just what I'm thinking, right? If we want to hold a meal that would be nutritional and healthy for those in sports, we do have several people in kayak involved in sports. Yes. Gotta support the gains, gotta support the health.
Yes,
That is why.
You guys don't need to necessarily vote on which food. So Donovan is very educational.
Additionally, there are people in kayak who hold dietary accommodations or can't eat certain things. Me personally, I can't have red meat. So making sure that the place that we get food from has,
Oh, you're going vegetarian.
no, I just don't eat it. Making sure that the places we get food from have full flexibility in regards to protein.
any other like known allergies, dietary restrictions?
Open up.
I'll always have.
So we
something
got
that's
no
like
bread.
I'll always have something that's like a meal. I'll try and get.
I'll eat bread on.
I'll try and get some kind of like fruit or veggie, and then I'll try and get a dessert like cookie.
I know here in a second I'll be getting picked too. So do we want to amend that budget or do we just want to say dinner will be provided? I personally am a fan of budgets because I get nervous when I don't know. It doesn't need to be, it can be a bigger budget because we don't need to be out like, oh, I have $150. I gotta go spend it all. So just have something in place, that way we're like, okay, we can afford this, so.
Yeah, you can make a motion that you guys have meals and the liaison takes care of it. We won't overspend your budget.
Okay. I would like, okay, I would like to make a motion to amend our, previous decision on food and to have meals provided and brought to us by our liaison.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries 8-0. Okay. That's the last in the agenda. So I would like to make a motion to end today's meeting at 8:17.
Sure.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 8-0.